Hey, what's up, guys? It's Jamie Foy here to talk about my Thrasher covers. It's pretty sick seeing them all together like this. This is actually my first time seeing them all in one spot, so this is super amazing. All these mean so much to me. This is something that growing up I always dreamt of as a kid. So having these on my repertoire and in my life, I'm super excited to have these. And they're all super meaningful in their own way. This is something that pretty much, this is my first cover. This is the front crook on El Toro, shot by Atiba Jefferson. My first ever Thrasher cover. And this was actually Atiba's first ever Thrasher cover he shot,
There we go.
which is super cool. He got hired by Thrasher not too long ago, or not too long prior
After
to
that,
this.
yeah.
Yeah, prior to this. And yeah, this was kind of something that, this was during the last hurrah for the flat Earth video with Ty Evans. I mean, this kind of all sparked from the mind of Ty Evans. He pretty much, this is at the end of the year. The last thing we were filming for the video came out right towards the end of the year. Like, I think it might have been December, something like that. But November, December. But this was something that we've always talked about, being in the van for hours on end. He's like, hey man, like you got a really good front crook. This is Ty talking to me. Like, have you ever thought about maybe doing it on something like El Toro? You know, something that really like something that will really concrete like your
Solidify
name.
your
Yeah,
place.
solidify like pretty much like solidify your name in skateboarding and uh, pretty much kind of be your ender for your part and everything. So it was something that maybe joked around doing it, and I was like, I don't know, I've never been. I gotta go check it out. You know, I've lived in California for a few years prior to this, and
At this point, were you fully on Death Wish?
yes, I
Okay.
was. This is just after I turned AM. This was after King of the Road. I maybe turned AM probably like 6 months, 7 months prior to this
Yeah.
photo being taken and us going uh, to do the front crook. So I front feebled it in my Baker or my Death Wish Part One part, which was like my intro, my AM part for
Yeah.
Death Wish skateboards. And it was funny because I told Ty, I was like, hey, we're coming to the end of filming for the Flat Earth, and he was like, hey, you thinking about doing the front crook on El Toro? I was like, I don't know, I've never been there yet, so I've never been front feebled before, but I really want to go front feeble it. I know I can do that, like at least. And so I told him, I was like, hey, I'm gonna go front feeble it for the Death Wish video part I'm working on, and after I do that front feeble, I'll call you and let you know how I feel about it. And I went there with me, Kalen. I'm pretty sure it was Kalen Diaz filming. Maybe Darian. I forget exactly. So long ago now. It's crazy. But yeah, I did the front feeble about third try, I think it was, and being super gassed up. I mean, in my mind, I'm like, I just front feeble Del Toro, so hyped. I called Ty maybe like 15 minutes, 20 minutes later, like as we were about to leave the spot. I was like, yo, dude, I think I can do it. Like, I think I can front crook it. Like, blah, blah, blah. Like, front feeble wasn't too bad. I did it in like 3 tries, so I think I can front crook it. And he was like all hyped, super gassed. So then he set a date, like, all right, I'm gonna hit up Atiba, I'm gonna hit up blah blah. We're gonna like get together in about 2 weeks and go get it. And I was like, all right, and, like set a date for Saturday, 2 weeks after. And yeah, I just remember the next day I woke up, I was just like come down from my high from the day. I was like, wait, what the hell did I just say? Like now I gotta go try to do this front crook. Oh man, so damn near counting down the days as the 2 weeks go by, waking up every day like, oh, I gotta go front crook El Toro in 10 days, 7 days, 4 days, you know, coming down to it. And I was just realistically like, when it came down to the day that we were gonna go there, I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna load up my car with all my best friends. We all pretty much lived together at the time, so everyone was just like, "You're going, right?" Like that was like the thing. Everyone knew I was gonna go to El Toro to try to front crook it. So everyone that we could hopped in the car, but that was good. You know, good hype, good vibes. We all got there. I just 50-50'd it maybe 20 times, maybe. Like I 50-50'd it so many times. Chase Webb was there with me. He just 50-50'd it with me a bunch. He 5-0'd it first try, frontside lip slid it first try. And he was someone that was there as I was 50-50ing it, and the only person skating it with me, where I was like, man, this is like, you can make this 20 rail a 10 rail in your head if you really believe in it. So yeah, just because of him, pretty much, I was like, all right, guys, I'm gonna try it. And I remember my first. I was like, all right, if I roll up more than 3 times, I'm not gonna try it. Like I'm just gonna Like, I got to just try it immediately because my adrenaline was so
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
So the first try, I was like, I'm in the back of the roll up. Everyone right here, you ready? And everyone's like, yeah, you got it. So I hear him screaming at the bottom. I'm gassed up. I run and throw down in the hallway. I hear all the I hear the cracks, and I realize because I 50-50'd it like 20 times. So I heard the tone difference from my 50-50 speed to my front crook speed. With 50-50, the cracks was like ta-tung, 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 ta-tung. The first front crook try I was gonna go for it was like ta-tung, 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 and I just stopped. I rolled up. I was like, that's way too fast. If I'm going that fast, I'm gonna miss it. I'm gonna eat shit. I'd rather go slow and just try to get in good. So I like took that one roll up. And I was like, that's my one roll up. Now I need to hone in and go for it. And then I just remember taking a nice light jog, throwing down, hearing the cracks being good, like ta-tung, 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 ta-tung. And I was like setting my foot up, and I'm saying, fucking pull the trigger. And all I remember is loading up my feet, bending down, and I blacked out. I just remember my tail smacked the ground, and then somehow I was on the rail grinding.
Your body knew what to do.
Yeah, just like full autopilot mode. Landed it, rolled away in the video. I'm looking up in the sky. I'm like pretty much just thanking God everything went well. And from there, just kind of, just all the boys were celebrating. It was going crazy. It was like honestly one of the best days of my life, and it's something that kind of like. Yeah, it projected. It like really shot me into the rankings of skateboarding, and like be kind of like Ty called it out. Like I did it, and it is something that made my whole life change. But it's something that changed my life mentally and inside, just because I was like, if I was so scared to try it, like, and if I can do that first try with like with everyone here, with everything going down, if like this is the formula, like get all your best friends together, get the best people to document it around, and just believe in yourself as much as your friends believe in you, knowing you can do it. All the practice has been worth it, and just go for it. So this is something that propelled me into the ranks with skateboarding and propelled my mind into like we can do whatever we want.
So then 4 months later,
yep,
you
I get SOTY. Yeah, this is crazy. It's Diamond Footwear at the time.
Okay.
It's funny. But yeah, from this cover helped me get SOTY to this cover is my SOTY cover in Australia. My first time ever in Australia. Shot by Burnett. Just, that was like one of my first times ever being on a trip with Burn Dog. No, I guess it wasn't, but it was my first time ever being on a big trip with Burn Dog, just in the sense of being outside the country. Usually like we did like Am Scramble and stuff like that. But being outside the country with me and all my friends, like that was another thing. I think that was another thing for him. That was his first time seeing me with like my close friends, and yeah, it was a good time bonding. Good times in Australia. Me and pretty much all my friends that came with me on the trip. That was our first times in Australia, so such an amazing time. Something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. And it was funny because shooting a cover is kind of hard in the sense of like planning it. Like something like this, like Ty had the idea, but it was such a long time, and it, like you think about the spot forever, and you kind of choose it. This was more or less like we got to find a spot in the area, But we were like all around Melbourne. This was in Melbourne, Australia, driving all around Melbourne. This is at a school. It looks sick. It looks really good. It's one of those things. I saw a photo of the spot. I was like, wow, it's gonna be amazing. Let's go there. Spot kind of sucks. There's like a 3-stair right before you ollie, so you had to we had to find wood, roll in real quick flat, and then then you hop on this rail and gap to the flat. But it was overall a really cool spot.
It looks amazing.
This is one of the things where I think Burn Dog kind of called it out, whereas he saw the spot and was like, hey, like this might be the one, So I think we were a little later in the trip, didn't really get anything. I remember on this trip, Mason did a really big board slide, and I was like, I didn't do anything crazy yet, so I was like, hey, Burnett, give Mason the cover, like give it to him. So, but yeah, and then this happened a few days later, and I think Burn Dog was super hyped on it, and I am too. Backsmith is always a good-looking photo. I'm super excited too. All of them are different tricks so far, so that's one thing I'm pretty prideful in. But this is my cover that I got. This is the one I got last year for intervals. This is something that kind of like this cover where it was like a long time in the making, whereas like I saw this spot on Instagram via some friends and messing around for whatever 3-4 years, and then it just so happened that the spot, one of the guys I was talking to was Tim Savage, and he works for New Balance. So that was one of the things where for the New Balance video, let's go find it, So we ended up getting the pin, seeing it on Google Maps. It actually looked perfect on Google Maps, so we were like, man, we got to go check it out. So yeah, this was actually, it was crazy though, because this is in the beginning of 2024, and I rolled my ankle. Oh, this was in the middle of 2024, and I rolled my ankle really bad in the beginning of 2024. So this is one of my first big tricks back on my board after like probably took me about 3 to 4 months to get back on my board fully. So being able to be confident enough to do this was like a big thing where I was like filming for my part on the weary side of doing stuff. Then I got this trick, and it was like another confidence booster where I was like, all right, I'm back. My ankle can take the running out and do all the stuff. So that one worked pretty good. Just had to bondo it. Flew all the way out to middle of nowhere, Germany, just to check it by myself. But then came back with the boys. And super stoked this one worked out.
Jake?
Yeah, I was going to say, Jake Darwen is the one who shot this cover. And, I mean, he, made his magic happen. One of my favorite photographers out there. I mean, I love all these guys. All of them shoot amazing photos. But, I mean, Jake, to me, is just kind of like I don't know, he's got his own thing going on, which is great. And he's one of my favorite photographers. So having one with him is super, super special to me, especially because we were going on all these trips together, for the whole video. So many good times involved in this cover. And then this one is my newest cover, the new Skater of the Year cover. Second time getting it, something that to me is, I kind of, when I first got it originally, it was so unexpected and happened kind of just from like me taking suit and not following orders, but just like following my guide, who was at the time kind of Ty Evans, and like, listening to Andrew at Baker, like Andrew Reynolds and all them, like kind of going off what they're saying around this time, just doing the best I can do and trying to make my part as great as I could. And it ended up happening out of nowhere. I didn't really think it was possible, but it happened. So then after this one time, I was kind of like, man, like I would really like to get it and try to get it. So I get it again and really try to get it. So stoked that it worked out this year to get this cover. And this is something that we did our trip a little later in the year. So this is, it usually comes out around, March, April, May, around that time. We did our trip a little bit later this year. This one was right after we announced SOTY. This one waited a few months, so I had time to go shoot photos around LA and Florida, and that was one of my big prideful things was since I had time, I really wanted to get a cover in Florida. So this is kind of in the Tampa, Gainesville area. I think the town's called Williston. It's a little tiny town, only probably a couple thousand people live there. But it's kind of a timeless cover that's been going on.
So this footage hasn't been released yet.
Hasn't been released yet.
So kind of explain what's going on here.
Yeah, so this footage hasn't been released yet. It will be released probably at the end of this month, April. It's going to be in my Red Bull part. But yeah, a lot of people don't really know what's going on. A lot of people have gotten it right. A lot of people have gotten it wrong. But that's kind of what I was super stoked in the photo, because you see it, you're just like, what the fuck, And super stoked on the logo placements too. I saw the photo. I was like, yes. I'm wearing the same jacket right now, dude. Actually, where is it? I painted the rail. So yeah, long story short, this is an old school spot in the middle of Florida. It's been there for a very long time. I think Kanaan and Dern was one of the first people to skate it back in the day, the Dern brothers. And so it used to be really cool, old building, kind of rusty blue building with a yellow rail, super Florida old looking. And now I think recently they put it up for sale. So originally when I tried the trick, it was blue building, yellow rail, looked sick. Went back to try to get it because I didn't get it the first time. Building was gray, black rails. I was like, this is boring as hell looking. So me and the boys bought some paint, spray painted it. I got some on the sweater right here, stuff, Yeah, exactly here, But yeah, it's funny I'm wearing the same hoodie. But yeah, this is something that I super lucky I got is a frontside half cab back overcrook. Pretty sure it's never been done in the streets, so it's something I really was looking for the right rail to get it, and I'm super stoked that it was in Florida, that we found it, and Burnett shot this photo as well. I'm super stoked Burnett came out to Florida with us. Super stoked on the interview that's in this one. I got a fishing photo of me holding a tarpon in there, so yeah, there's a lot of amazing stories behind all the covers, which will take with me to the grave and live
Yeah.
on forever.
Hell of a
Uh,
body of work right
oh
there.
man, I mean, I just got like goosebumps just seeing it all and thinking about it all, just because I mean, so many amazing times, so many great, amazing people. Like none of these is just me, it's just me on the cover. I know that, but like having
Yeah.
something like this takes
The village.
insane amount of
Yeah.
work, insane amount of people, amazing people, and I want to thank everyone, all the photographers, all the people that have gone behind me, and like, oh yeah, this one actually, like that's I've explained all of them. This one's like a home dream of like my friends. This one's like a Ty Evans dream. This one was like Burnett, like yo, we should skate this spot. And this trick is Jim Greco. He asked me maybe 5 6 years ago when I was learning fakie to switch front blunt. He was like, hey, have you ever thought about going a little more to back overcrook? And I was like, he kind of planted the seed. I was like, I don't know if I can do that. So fast forward like that was probably like 5 years ago. So fast forward 6 years ago or 5 years later, here we are. I got it done.
Yeah, Jim.
Super stoked that, yeah, they're all with me for the rest of my life. And thank you for letting me explain them because, I mean, it's a lot of cool stuff that a lot of people don't know.
Right, right. Do you have any favorite Florida covers from when you were younger? People you looked up to?
It was hard because when I started skating when I was so young, when I was 1, so I've just kind of had a bunch of stuff like all the people thrown in my face. I wouldn't say can't think of a favorite Florida cover per se. I mean, Ishod's when I was a
Yeah,
kid. Ishod's Thrasher cover for his SOTY trip was
yeah.
cool just because it was like I was just like it was like the Wally no complies, like the beginning of that, but it was just a spot that I grew up skating. It's just like
Okay.
those Arto ledges on the water. That
Uh,
one was super cool. FTK, I knew like a few
yeah.
spots when FTK was around. I remember my friend showing me some mags with a good amount of FTK covers or FTK Florida covers. Um,
Brian Downey has one in Deerfield Beach.
okay, was it on the Hubba?
Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Down to the sand,
Yeah, yeah,
basically.
yeah. The big one that goes down to the
Yeah,
beach. Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think I remember seeing that one too.
All
Yeah,
right.
yeah. But I mean, one of my favorite covers when it comes to Thrasher is Andrew. I mean, it was Wallenberg, the backside flip. I mean, he's OG Florida.
Yeah.
It's crazy. He's from literally the middle of Florida, which is now it has an amazing skate park, but back in the day it had nothing. So I don't know how he is, but yeah, uh, amazing skate history. So I really was super stoked to get something in Florida because it's meaningful to have a cover. Always doesn't. I don't care where it is. If I get a cover skating anything, I'll be super excited. But just like having the opportunity to pick and choose a place and nail it and get it in Florida and have this one come out, I'm super excited.
Awesome. Well, Jamie, I think that about covers it, man. Thanks for getting together with us.
No worries. Thank you for having me.